Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to knit the cluster rib stitch. This is a stitch that provides a fabric that lays really nice and flat, and this side that you see here is the right side and then this is the wrong side. So the wrong side also looks pretty nice, I think, almost flat, almost like a rib itself, but this here is the right side, and you can see the fabric has quite a bit of stretch to it. More so widthwise than lengthwise, and it provides these nice little ladder or helix like things, sort of corkscrew like rows, and so really nice stitch to knit. I would put this at an advanced, intermediate or advanced beginner level though, just because there's a little bit of a twist involved. You don't need cable needles or anything, it's just regular knitting needles to knit this stitch. Now the stitch is knit on a multiple of 3 stitches plus 1. So I have cast on here for this sample 28 stitches, so that's 27 plus 1. And so as long as your pattern has a multiple of 3 plus 1, you should be fine. And it's 2 rows. It's a repeat of 2 rows. So you cast on that many stitches, the multiple of 3 plus 1, with whichever cast on you prefer, and then you would do the 2 rows. So I've already knit up a sample here. I'm going to go ahead and get started right from this point, but this row that I'm showing you, you would do this as the first row right after the cast on row. So I've provided the pattern in the description field. All you have to do is click on that little drop down and you'll see the pattern. Okay, so the first row is really simple. The first stitch is just a purl, 1, and then is your repeat starts, which is knit 2. So you're going to knit the next 2 stitches, and then, oh, let me do that again. These needles are very, very slippery. I'm not using my typical bamboo needles. Okay, so knit 2 and then purl 1. Okay, so that's your repeat for the whole row. Knit 2 and then purl 1. And I'm going to keep doing this till I get to the end of the row. And so row 1 is facing the right side of the work. Row 2 will be facing the wrong side. Okay, so you're going to end row 1 in a knit 1, knit 2, and then purl 1. And then you're going to turn your work for row 2. Now row 2 is where there's that little bit of a tricky thing, so follow along with me. Row 2, you start off with knit 1. Then you bring the yarn over, so you take the yarn from the back and bring it in the front, leave it in the front, and then knit the next 2 stitches. So knit 1 and knit 2. Now what you're going to do is with the left hand needle, you're going to insert the left hand needle into that stitch that we yarned over. It'll be the 3rd stitch down on the right needle. So right here, this stitch, we're going to insert the left hand needle into that stitch, and then we're going to bring that stitch over these 2 stitches. So the way I like to do it is use my index finger to hold those 2 stitches down and guide that left needle yarn over stitch over and drop it. Okay, and then you do a knit 1. So this, what we just did here, these 3 stitches, that's the repeat. So let's see that a few more times. Bring the yarn to the front, knit 1, knit 2 with the left needle, find that yarn over stitch, which is again the 3rd stitch down, insert, hold these 2 stitches and guide this over. And holding those 2 stitches just helps kind of keep them in place and helps you not lose those 2 stitches. And then knit 1. Again, yarn over, knit 1, knit 2, insert the left needle into that yarn over needle, and again you're inserting just through that front loop, holding on to these 2 and bringing the loop over and beyond those 2 stitches. Okay, and then knit 1. And that's all you're doing for the whole row. You're going to continue that to the end. When you're done, you'll turn your work and then repeat row 1 and row 2. And after you've knit up a few rows, your work will start to look like this. One pointer, because of this little bit of a tricky thing that we're doing, if you're making a project with this, like a scarf, make sure you put in a proactive lifeline. I've provided the link to that video of mine if you're not sure on how to do that. And also, the pointier needles you have, it'll be a little bit better to help insert into that stitch. So if you've got bamboo needles, I think those work really well. These kinds of aluminum needles, sometimes the tip isn't as pointy and you might have a little bit of difficulty. So actually, one other point I wanted to show you was, if you do, let me go ahead and knit 2. And if you have difficulty inserting that left needle, you might want to nudge that stitch a little bit with your right index finger, like so, just to get that little extra space so you can insert that needle into the stitch and then pull that stitch over. So I hope you liked the video. If you do, please click the like button, and I hope you give the stitch a try. I think it works great in place of a 3x3 rib. If you need to do a 3x3 rib, I think that you can try this one the next time, as long as your stitches match the stitch pattern for this. And please subscribe to my channel, Knittycat's Knits. Thanks always for watching, and happy knitting!